Hey guys, I am live. This is Courtney. Welcome to the Daily Dose of Awesome. And as you hop in, say hi. Let me know that you're watching live. And I'd love to be able to give you a shout out. Hey Terry, how are you? Thanks for hopping on. I will give a few shout outs too. But today I'm talking about the Facebook algorithm in general terms, not anything very specific. It's obviously, hey Fran, how are you? It's something that's very complicated, and I'm not sure anybody has full visibility to it, right? But want to talk to you about it in a general way so that it can help you really inform your social media and understand what's going on behind the scenes. And I talked a little bit about what Facebook's goal is, I think in one of my last daily doses, but really want to give you a way to understand what's happening so that you can use it to help your engagement. Hey Lisa, how are you? To help your, just to help what's going on in your social media world. So first of all, what is the algorithm? And guys, I want this to be really interactive too. So I'm probably going to be asking questions throughout the daily dose, and would love to get your feedback too as we walk through this. So what is it? Basically, and what's the reason that we have the algorithm? Because think about it, there's billions of people using the platform, right? We have so many people, and Facebook has to find a way to prioritize that. So obviously, what the algorithm is really based on demand. So demand for people that want to see the most relevant content. Hey Tracy, how are you? Thanks for hopping on. I hope you had fun in LA. So seeing relevant content is basically, so what I'm saying is humans create the algorithm. Like, we are creating the demand for what we want to be seeing on the platform. So really important to be thinking about that in the context of who you're talking to, who your ideal prospect is, and what's really happening and what's going on behind the scenes, and how you can use the algorithm really to your advantage to get more eyes on your stuff, to get people, to get more reach on things, to get more long comments and shares and engagement, which is what we all want, right? To get our message out there about our businesses. Hey Tom, how are you? Thanks for hopping on. So what I'm suggesting is that if you understand the basics of what the algorithm is doing, which is that it's, we're creating demand for content that people want to see. And I also want to suggest that you have some advantages with the algorithm that you may not even realize. So when I heard this, I was like, oh my gosh, this makes so much sense. And I hadn't really ever thought about it in these terms before. And that's kind of what I want to share with you too. So the algorithm has highs and it has lows. So tell me what you think that might mean. Drop me a 2 if that might make sense. And I really want to get it working for you. So I want you to think about how you can use it. So here is my main question for today is, are you posting like a mom? Now, if you're a mom, you may know what I mean. And if you're not a mom, that's totally fine. Hang with me and you'll get it. So basically the algorithm is not linear. It's not something where, you can post 3 times a day, at the same time in the day, and you're going to get the same engagement on all those posts. Let's say you actually had the same post and you were testing it at different times of day. Sometimes it'll get, depending on the type of day, can potentially get more reach than other times. So let me know what my point is there's a rhythm and there is a pattern to what's actually happening. And when you understand what's happening, you can really sort of dial in to when the highs are in the algorithm and when the lows are, and how you can really take advantage of that to get your content seen more. So, so talking about, posting like a mom, here's what's happening. And I heard this a lot from different people, and I finally kind of got it, which is that the algorithm actually mimics the life of a mom. So think about what's going on for somebody who is, they get their kids up, they get on the school bus, and what's happening right after, she's packed all the lunches and she's done all the stuff that she needs to do for the morning, right? Like what's happening after that point? She's probably going to get on her phone, right? She's probably going to start scrolling. And that's probably around, 7:30, between 7:30 and 8:30 in the morning, right? So if you could post around that time, think about how much more impact you would have to reach that person than, let's say you're posting, in the middle of the day when she's really busy or, she has a lot going on and she may not be open to the message that you're putting out into the world, right? So really important. So think about what her schedule is like. When is she on social media, and when is she able to hear your message? So I think that's really critical when we're thinking about when we want to be posting and the reasons that, why we're posting at a specific time too. So think about and I want you to kind of get into the head of your prospects a little bit and think about this in a really sort of in a behind the scenes sort of way, which is what's happening to that mom at night? So she's probably put her kids to bed. She's tucked them in. She's read the bedtime stories, and she probably has about this much energy left for herself. So maybe she flops in bed. I mean, I do this, you guys, too, because I have 3 little ones. Gets in bed, and what is she doing? She's probably scrolling on her phone. And not only is she scrolling, but she's also has a lot going on in her head. What happened to her that day? How did she spend all of her energy? Did she spend all of her energy on helping other people? And she maybe doesn't have a whole lot that's left for herself. Is she looking for more in her life? Is she in a place where she needs to hear something, whether it's motivational or whether it's gratitude or whether it's somebody just empathizing with her and saying, it's okay, I've had a hard day too. Or maybe it's a power post, maybe it's a business post, maybe she's looking for something more, maybe she wants to grow something for herself. That's the time when she is probably really going to be open to your message. Now, I'm not saying that moms are everybody's avatar, but it's an example. So, really going back to who your avatar is, who you're talking to, and when are they going to be sort of available to listen to your content, and when are they going to be open to what you have to say? So I think that's really critical, that we kind of get inside the mindset of who we're talking to, and when they're having highs in their days, when they're having the lower times, or things are a little bit harder. Let's say she's a working mom, for instance, and she has 20 minutes to eat lunch at her desk. So is it a good time to post right at noon when, I don't know, maybe she's going out to a restaurant for 20 minutes and ordering takeout, so she's standing in the takeout line scrolling through her phone? That's probably not going to be a time that you're going to be able to reach her. So really critical that you kind of think about that and get behind the scenes a little bit to understand what's happening with your prospects and when they can really just be open to listening to what you have to say. So, and this is going to help with it's going to help with, your exposure on social media, your engagement. So here's a few specifics. I would suggest not posting anything on Friday afternoons, right? Because people live their Fridays differently than they live their Mondays. So Sunday nights, people, what is going on for people? On Sunday nights, they are ready to tackle the week. So they're hitting the ground running Monday morning, and they're prepping Sunday night, let's say. So you're going to want to talk to that person Monday morning in a different way than you would talk to them on Friday evening. Actually, I wouldn't suggest posting anything Fridays, maybe something early in the morning, but not something in the afternoon or evening. So you want to think about all of that stuff, because it really is going to impact your message and really how much reach you have on the platform. And then I want to talk briefly too about scheduling posts. And this is kind of interesting. I mean, Facebook has its own scheduler. So I suggest if you are scheduling things like, if you go to a job or, have a corporate job or have a 9 to 5 and you are scheduling posts, I would probably use Facebook scheduler because there's a lot of third-party apps out there to do the same thing. And in light of thinking about what I just mentioned with the algorithm, you want to think about, is posting or is scheduling your posts serving you? Is it serving your content? Is it getting things out there? Let's say you do 3 posts a day and they're all like spaced by 4 hours, right? What is it not doing? Like, the algorithm is looking for organic conversation with people. It's looking for, organic posting and people that are posting like a mom. They're posting when they have time. They're posting when they have to get a message out there to people because they just have to vent about something or they just have to talk about something. And when you schedule posts, it can potentially hurt your reach, not only because it's a third party and it's off of Facebook, but you just don't have that organic ability anymore that you would if you just kind of posted on the fly or you posted when you had something really important to say. And here's the other thing I will say, like, don't post if you don't have anything to say, just because you feel like you might need to get something out there. You don't want to be doing that. You want to put your best foot forward and you want to make sure that you really have something to tell people that's going to impact them, that's going to speak to them, that's going to motivate them, and really, really critical. And then here's my last point is that you really want to pay attention to your own rhythm on social media. And what do I mean by this? So I've heard people talk about this, like, pay attention to what's happening on your Facebook page. Are people, is your audience, like, what types of posts are they responding to better than others? So let's say you do long text posts with like a fun picture and people respond to that a little bit better than they respond to maybe a shorter text post or maybe an inspirational post. Are your Facebook Lives doing better than, your text posts? Things like that, because that is what you want to take notice of. Like, you want to be very observant about what is actually happening on your page and what people respond to, because you want to be doing more of what they're responding well to. And now that sounds really basic, and it's important to test, obviously, too, and test, what's working and what's not working on your page. But you want to be giving your audience, obviously, the content that they want to be consuming, right? And what is that going to do? It's going to pick your post up and put it in the algorithm. Like, Facebook doesn't actually put every post in the newsfeed. So that's your first goal, is to get your post to the place where it actually gets in the newsfeed so that people can see it. So what kind of content is that? And then just, be observant about what's going on. The last thing I will say is that you probably don't want to post more than 2 to 3 times a day. And here's why. And I know a lot of people, like, some people say 3 to 5, some people say 1. Like, what's happening is if you post too many times, you're actually like using up your algorithm. Has anyone heard that concept? Drop me a 2 if you've heard that you might be using up your algorithm. Because what's going to happen is you might actually be competing with your own posts. So let's say you post something at 9 a.m. and then you post again at 10:30. Like, the post at 9 a.m. is still working. The first 90 minutes of a post are really critical. They're the most critical. So you don't want to kind of muddy the Facebook waters by posting something that's before 90 minutes before the previous post. So things like that you just want to be thinking about. And if something's doing well, don't post again and take the algorithm away from the post that's doing well. Like, let it ride for a little bit, because it takes about 6 hours for a post to really kind of die. So give it some time. I've seen people like delete posts, and you just want to give it a little bit of time for the algorithm to start working and for it to generate, that reach and what you really wanted to generate, and get your message out in front of your audience. So guys, I hope this was helpful. I hope you have an awesome Monday, and I will talk to you the next time I'm on. Bye.